Greetings, loved ones. While physical injuries may or may not be immediately visible, abuse and neglect can have consequences for children, families, and society that last lifetimes, if not generations. The impact of child abuse and neglect is often discussed in terms of physical, psychological, behavioral, and societal consequences. However, it is impossible to separate the types of impacts. Today we are in part 3 of long-term consequences of child abuse, and we'll discuss 6 potential consequences of child abuse. Help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button and the notification bell, and please share these messages with others because you could save a life. The effects of child abuse and neglect are serious and can be detrimental both short and long term. So it is important to recognize the effects of child abuse and neglect, to report possible mistreatment whenever you see it. Unfortunately, people who have been mistreated may also face a greater risk to becoming harmful to others later in life, particularly boys mistreated by women during their developing years. This includes all mistreatment and exploitation toward people under 18 by a caregiver or adult in a mentorship role. This can include sexual, physical, or emotional abuse. So let's talk about the 6 potential long-term consequences of child abuse and neglect. Physical, psychological, and behavioral consequences are the 3 main long-term effects of child abuse and neglect that many experience. Even years after the mistreatment and abuse ends, people who have been abused can still find themselves dealing with the long-term effects of the physical, emotional, or sexual abuse they faced. This impact can even span generations if people are unable to seek treatment and prevent the cycle from potentially repeating with their own children. So let's talk about health problems. This is the first point. While some long-term effects of child abuse and neglect occur instantly, such as brain damage from head trauma, other effects may take months or even years to become detectable. Survivors face a higher risk for a variety of long-term or future physical health problems, including the following: malnutrition, high blood pressure, arthritis, cancer, bowel disease, diabetes, heart disease, and lung problems. Survivors of abuse and neglect are also at risk of stunted or improper brain development. Regions of the brain, including the amygdala, which plays a large part in processing emotions, and the hippocampus, which is critical for learning and memory, are negatively affected by child abuse and neglect. However, with the help of treatment and intervention, it is possible to help these areas of brain recover and overcome those effects. Okay, number 2 is substance use disorders. Children of parents with substance use disorder face a greater risk of experiencing abuse or neglect. It also increases the risk of turning to drugs and alcohol as a coping mechanism for themselves when they grow older. One long-term study that follows survivors until they reach 24 found that experiencing physical abuse during the first 5 years of life is strongly linked to developing substance abuse later in life. Unfortunately, those who are neglected or abused as children can be more likely to become abusive to their own children. Seeking treatment such as therapy for abuse can be incredibly helpful with breaking the cycle of abuse and neglect and its effects. Number 3 is juvenile delinquency and criminal acts. According to research funded by the National Institute of Justice, those who are neglected or abused as children are also more likely to develop antisocial behaviors and associate with others who display these antisocial tendencies. The study also found that the abuse and neglect of children affects males and females differently. Females tended to internalize their behaviors, resulting in anxiety or social withdrawal. Males, on the other hand, displayed externalizing behaviors such as bullying or aggression. This behavior then followed them into adulthood. And number 4 is psychological and behavioral issues. Experiencing abuse and neglect when you're young is also a risk factor for developing psychiatric disorders such as depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, anorexia or bulimia, and behavioral disorders. Research on childhood trauma and its effect on the brain suggests that stunted or impaired brain development from abuse may play a part in leaving those who have been abused vulnerable to these disorders. One study also found out that adults with major depression who were also abused or neglected as children responded less effectively to antidepressive treatments. While experiencing child abuse and neglect might increase your chances of experiencing these issues, that does not mean that you are destined to deal with them for the rest of your life or possibly at all. Number 5, impaired cognitive skills and executive functioning. Child abuse and neglect can disrupt brain development, resulting in impairment of the brain's executive functions. These functions include working memory, self-awareness, planning, and problem solving. And this damage can result in the following: learning disabilities, poor grades, a higher chance of dropping out of school. These unfortunate short-term effects can have a drastic impact on a child's future. And number 6 is direct and indirect costs to society. Abuse and neglect have far-reaching consequences that do not stop at the person who is or was abused. Society also must reckon with the effects of child abuse and neglect. In 2015, the Center for Disease Control found that the total lifetime economic costs of child abuse and neglect added up to, get ready for it, $428 billion. Direct costs, such as hospitalizations and foster care payments, and indirect costs, such as long-term care like therapy and medication, factored into this total. So how do you seek help? If you believe that a child has been abused, you must seek help for them immediately. You can contact the child's doctor, the local police department, or the 24-hour Child Help National Abuse Hotline at 1-800-422-4453. You'll see this in the screen, and it will also be in our description. The National Child Abuse Hotline can give you information on support service resources, emergency services, and social assistance. If the child needs immediate attention, just call 911. If you or someone you love has experienced child abuse, it's not too late to seek help. Talk to your doctor about the various therapy and treatment options that are available to you. According to the CDC, over half of all children in the world, that's 1 billion children ages 2 to 17 years, experience violence every single year. The question is not if you'll encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life. You're called. We are all called to be champions for justice. And those who suffer violence, they need to know that those who love them and those who don't even know them will reach out to them to give them the help and the courage they need to leave before it's too late. Please help us get these messages out. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. And please share these messages with others. If you are a victim of violence, I want you to listen to me. I want you to know that you are valued, you are loved, you're intelligent, and yes, you are worthy. God does not want you to suffer violence. He wants you to live free from violence in peace and tranquility. There is a way out. It is not your fault. Abuse is not love, and most of all, I want you to know you are not alone. If you're a victim of violence, reach out to someone today. If you find yourself in a dangerous situation, call 911 for help. If you know of a child suffering violence, tell the authorities. In our next episode, we're going to talk more about short-term consequences of child abuse and neglect. And until then, God bless you.